to my brother's werewolf time. Um, so I went ahead and made his protein shake. He took his medicine without the mood regulator because we're out. We are officially out of it. I tried to get medication this week. The doctor canceled the appointment, and I'm just like, oh, very aggravating. And so now, um, I did reschedule the appointment, but now I thought I don't know. So it's scheduled for Saturday, okay? And what am I gonna say? Yeah, so I rescheduled for Saturday, so that's gonna mean my brother's without the mood regulating medication. Sorry, y'all. This road is kind of janky. Sorry. Um, for today, tomorrow, Saturday. It's 3 days at least. It might be another day because actually it is going to be 4 days because I don't think the pharmacy is open on Sunday to fill medications. I don't think the pharmacist at the particular drugstore I send it to, because we talked about that last week. Something going on janky with them. So I was like, yeah. Um, so at least 4 days without this medication. And I'm going to help with supplementing a little bit more lemon balm and L-theanine and ashwagandha. So that's going to be the protocol now. I do have a nice supply of L-theanine, which you can't overdose on, by the way. Lemon balm, I don't know, but I do have plenty of it. It'll keep him nice and calm and rested and all the stuff hopefully throughout the day. I usually give him more. Actually, I usually just give it to him at night, lemon balm. And then the ashwagandha has been new lately because I've followed up on some old research. Last year, the research I found was saying don't do it. This year, I researched again, which is helpful. I mean, from what I know about the herb itself, it keeps a person in homeostasis. So I didn't understand why would they say don't give it to somebody if its job is to regulate them wherever they are, Go ahead and like and subscribe. I am a biohacking caregiver to my disabled brother. And if you need tips and tricks on how to have a less stressful life through botanicals and mindset, because I also help kids as young as 7, because I'm also a teacher. And yeah, that's what I do. Alrighty. And my brother, as I was leaving, so I was trying to be, like I could feel my own anxiety rising because I know that he doesn't have medication. I didn't say to him that we're out of medication for him. I did say earlier this week that I needed to get more, but I didn't say we were out. This week I also took him to the clinic. He didn't actually go inside, but that's another step towards it. And that was yesterday, so I think we're back to that. Like, oh my gosh, it feels like 2 days ago. No, that was just yesterday. And he didn't go to the clinic. I think, again, the anxiety. But now he knows where it is. So I hope, is not out there trying to do random things. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention in the other video, but I'm going to mention now in a second. But yeah, so he's making gains in positive ways. The exercise is helping him. I believe The ashwagandha is also helping him, and um, making it, it's been helping. It's almost puzzle pieces that are finally coming together to work. That's what it feels like, at least in this last week or so. Um, Now, there's also the element of, I'm noticing that he is also having these thoughts that are beyond. Okay, I can't claim what he wants back. I can only go for what to me. He says he likes where he's living in this current apartment, but yet I catch him trying to apply to other apartments around city, and even back in where he used to live in Alabama. And sometimes when he's in that kind of weird, wonky state and he's not thinking clearly, that's when it starts happening. I'm starting to notice. I don't, I think he got afraid, and maybe, I think he even saw something maybe 2 weeks ago starting, and he is reacting in a fearful way. So again, I still think that he is seeing delusions and seeing things, and he's again pretending like he's not seeing things. But it's not as psychosis as it could be, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like he is still seeing things. I definitely know he still might be hearing things, you know? And I don't know if that's going to be a constant thing. I think I slipped into some research about how sound is related to sight, but I don't want to get into that tangent right here right now, but he is he is working on it, and he is a lot more clear and a lot more aware. But like I said, it seems like sometimes he has these ideas or compulsions to do things like dial 911, try to apply for apartments. The other thing that he keeps trying to do, he keeps trying to reach out to the Social Security offices and trying to tell them to send him money. Okay, he is on SSI. I'm his payee, if that makes sense. Those who know. Um, I'm his payee, and the way that it works, and again, because I'm new to this, nobody told me. I kind of had to stumble and figure it all out. Okay, that he like okay, the nature of his disability is in that, because it is a part of a mental illness and long term and chronic, it prevents him from having a memory, prevents him from having a certain quality of life, and he has to be supervised. Basically, he has to be supervised. So in order for him to get this Social Security, he's got to be supervised. And it's not like he has, and I'm gonna just be another extreme, it's not like he's missing a foot. That's another kind of disability. Yeah, maybe he can get the money because he can take care of his money, he can take care of his bills, he can keep up with things. But because my brother's nature of his disability is to where he does not have a good memory, he does not attend to his basic needs in a uh, meaningful way for himself. And he cannot sometimes cognitively recall how to do things. So that is his disability. And the thing is, when he thinks that he can get his money, his disability prevents him from having the money himself. Somebody has to be the uh, caregiver of his money, because he is disabled in that way. Okay. And it's hard for me to try to explain that to him, and that, if anything, that makes him mad. That was one of the things, and I know we've talked about this a long time ago. It's on my playlist, by the way, so make sure you check out my playlist. It's over 100 videos of this saga. It is my hope to turn this into some kind of memoir, some kind of um, something that people, I hope, would find helpful for themselves. Um, there are things I've read, articles I've read, parts of books that were recommended to me when it comes to those delusions and how you kind of just need to roll along with them and not deny them. So I've been also doing that more. Well, not more. I've basically haven't really denied or acknowledged the delusions. I've kind of just, I'll say, okay, so something did also happen where he emailed me and he said, somebody is telling me about pizza, something to that effect. I know because he's in the apartment, he's sending me this email that he's in the apartment and nobody's in there. I respond to him via email, don't listen to the voices. You are safe where you are. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So I'll be over there this weekend for him. You know, popping through the households and stuff. But tonight I need to focus on trying to get some grades put in or done or something because we're at the wire, and I'm starting to panic. And I don't. This is where teachers are like, ah. Everybody's like, last day of school. I don't care about the last days. I care about me making sure I have these grades in. That's what I care about because that comes before the last day of school. All right, with that, y'all take care. Be well out there. All right, goodbye. Take care of yourself.